crafters. In tonight's video, we're going to be using a technique that I've never used before, and it's called the Embedded Embossing Floated Image. I got this technique from Lisa Curcio. Thanks, Lisa. I'll put a link to her video in the comments section below. Along with this technique, we'll be using the I'm Thankful found in the Autumn Leaves Photopolymer stamp set. And then we'll be using the Perennial Lavender Designer Series paper for the background paper. Hi, I'm Joan and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I created this video for Joan Simple Paper Crafts, found right here on YouTube. If you're new here, I want to thank you for stopping by. And if you're a returning guest, welcome back. Be sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. That way you won't miss when I post a video, which is typically once a week. Except we're still in summer, so it's going to be every other week. Now give me a few seconds and we'll turn the camera down and we'll get started. I want to take a few moments to talk about our latest promotion. It's the Designer Series paper sale. Between August 6th and August 31st, you can shop select Designer Series paper from the 2024 to 2025 annual catalog at 15% off. This is the perfect time to stock up and save on some of your favorite paper. Well, here's that card we're going to make today. I'm going to show you the embedded floated image. We have a piece of acetate that we did the embedded floated image on there, and you see it looks like it's floating there. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to use these dies from the Autumn Leaves dies, and we'll use the Eyelet 3D embossing folder, and then we'll also use Autumn Leaves I'm Thankful and For All You Do. And then for the inside of the card, we're going to stamp this one right here. So we can get started. Let me get this out of the way. We'll start with that acetate. And I got all the holes punched out already. And we're just going to glue them down all around the card, leaving the bottom third free. So let's do this one. And I'm going off the card as well. Gives you a little more interest. Alright, I think we're done with that. I'm just going to lift it up and move it aside while we work on the other cards. We'll let that dry. So next we're going to take is our cardstock. We're going to use this gorgeous grape right here. I've already got it pre-folded. It is a piece of 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. Or 14 centimeters by 21.6 centimeters, and it was scored at 4 1/4 or 10.8 centimeters. And I'm going to fold and burnish that. Okay, and I'm just looking to see which side looks better. This side looks a little bit better here. Then we're going to take our foil. And we need to cut this down. So let me get my trimmer out. Here's our trimmer. And I really love this trimmer. It has 2 blades. That's what it comes with. This is the scoring blade and this is the trimming blade. I added a 3rd blade. What I did is when this one got dull, I took it out and I wrote glitter on it. So what I use this for is things like cutting foil or glitter paper so that it doesn't really dull this one up right away. So that's why I have this one, and we're going to use that one right now. And I'm going to use it at the bottom so that I can get most of it done correctly. And we want a piece that's 4 1/8. And you're not going to be able to see this, I can tell that right now. Let me see if I can turn it so you can see it this way. No, I will do it this way. So it's 4 1/8. And then slice that. And then we need 5 3/8. Now the 5 3/8 comes off of here, so I'm not going to be able to see it on here at all. It's up here about somewhere. I prefer to have it done with the lines here rather than guessing, so we're going to just go here, 5 3/8, and there we go. And I cut everything else out, so we don't need this trimmer. I'm going to put that away. So we're going to glue these 2 pieces down, and I'm going to glue this one on here as well. So this is a piece cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, or 10.2 centimeters by 13.3 centimeters. And this is a piece of Perennial Lavender Designer Series paper. Isn't that just lovely? And then this is another piece of the Perennial Lavender. We'll get to that in a second. So I'm going to put glue on this one here. Whoop. I think I might have had my glue gun sitting there and kind of dried up a little bit. I'm thinking, I know there's glue in there. I just put a bottle in not too long ago. And we're going to put this on here, leaving 1/16 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides. I know you couldn't see that, so we've got 1/16 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides there. Now what I could have done is, if I had wanted to save my foil, I could have cut this out here and just left like a 1/2 inch all the way around, and then use the inside for another project, but I didn't do that. But if you want to do that, you're welcome to. And then we're going to put this on the card base. Took a pin and poked it in there, thinking that it might be dry. It came out liquid, but it is working a little bit better now. Yeah, I spoke too soon. So I just poked this in here. I think I just left it out too long, so it slowed it down quite a bit. And yeah, this works better when you do that. This is the type of glue that I have inside my glue gun. It is what we have in our catalog. And now I want to make sure that I'm putting this on with the flowers facing upward. So here's the bundle, and here's the stem underneath it. So this is the way I want it on there. And now I'm going to make this 1/16 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides. Basically, you're centering it. And then we're just going to take our bone folder and just press it down, so you're making sure you have paper contacting paper. Okay, then next we're going to take our acetate that we have, and we're going to go ahead and emboss this. So we're going to use that eyelet 3D embossing folder. Let me get our cut and emboss machine out. So we need to use this pattern right here. We need the number 1 plate, that's this one right here, and the number 4 plate, and I have that sitting right here. And then we're going to put our embossing folder together. So we're going to open this up, and this is from the back side. I had it sitting on the extras there. Thought they were falling off, but they're not. They're just from the back side. So we're going to put this in here, and I'm just kind of centering it so I have the same amount of space on all 4 sides. Then we're going to put it in here, and then we're using our number 4 plate, and then we just crank it out. And since I don't have a lot of room here, I'm going to crank it right back. So there it is. Isn't that just simply lovely? It had embossed everything together, so it's one piece now. It's not as if it's glued down anymore. And I just have a little bit right here where the glue came through, and I'm just going to take it off with my spray I don't want it to be showing through the acetate. When you got glue on the acetate, it's yellowed. So this is what I use for the spray on that. Okay, so now we have this. We can go ahead and glue that onto here, but I don't want it to be flat like that. I'm going to put our dimensionals on there, and we'll use the large and smalls. So let me get those out here. I'm going to use the large ones on the large pieces here. I'll do that one. And I'll do it for each of the groupings, at least one large one. And I'm making sure that when it's going out, that the dimension's going out too. And then we're going to take this and we're going to add that to each of these here. This is what's going to hold it down onto the paper, so that's why we want to make sure we have enough. And these aren't any more than a penny a piece. The little ones I think are 2 for a penny, so it's not too bad. There we go. And I'm going to put 2 on this one. One down there too. Put more up on the bottom portion here. Okay, well, I think we're done with those. I'll put these away before they get lost. And then we want to bring this here, and we want to glue it with matching the bottoms first, and then work our way up. We're going to take these dimensions off the back, the paper off the back to make them sticky. Sorry if my head got in there. I'm trying to figure out how I want to work this because I have a little bit larger workspace. I'm in a new office now, so I have a little bit larger workspace, but if I put it where you can see everything, then I can't reach either. So I think I got all those off from there. It's kind of a give and take here. So we're going to just match the bottom corners down here. I'm going to hold that in place and work my way up. I'm going to work my way up to this side and match that corner up there, and then across to the other corner. Worked pretty good. Then we can take this, put it on here, and we're just going to glue it down because it's already raised. We don't want to raise it anymore. I love this designer series paper too. It's the same lavender, the perennial lavender. Our designer series paper typically have 2 sides where they have different patterns on each side. And it bothers me because I like both sides. So when I use one side, I'm like, oh, I'm not using the other side. But usually I can find enough to use both sides eventually. Okay, let's see, what else do we need to do on here? We have our label we want to put on there. So we're going to do 2 of these and 1 of those. So let me do this first. I am going to do I'm thankful. And I could have done that afterwards because the die is big enough. I could have done it afterwards. I am going to go ahead and stamp my inside sentiment as long as I am stamping. And I am going to use the same ink. That's Gorgeous Grape. I'm just going to stamp it 3 times. There we go. Now I have all these things with ink on them, so I'm going to go ahead and clean those off. This is our Stampin' Scrub, and And I'm going to use our spray on there because I haven't used it yet today. Okay, and I'm just going to take my stamps and I'm going to stamp off on the side here on some paper just to get extra ink off. And then we just scrub, and then we scrub on the dry side. So I don't just spray this side because there's a raindrop in there, so that's always the wet side. And then this one has a sunshine in there, so that's always the dry side. Stamp off, scrub, and scrub. All right, those look pretty good. So next we're going to die cut these, and we'll come back to that ink yet. We got, oh, I don't think we need it anymore. That one we can close up. And if we need it, we can always open it up again. So let's go ahead and put this down as long as we're here. And we're just going to glue it down. This is a My Petunia glue gun. It works great. I have trouble squeezing these little glue bottles, these here, and then those smaller ones where you pour it into, those I have trouble with too. So I found out about this and I've been using this since. But right now I'm having some problems with it because I let it dry out. I know I told you that before, but yay. Okay, hopefully that didn't dry up on me. So I'm just going to put this inside here, leaving 1/8 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides. Basically, I'm centering it on the right half of the card. There, it looks great. Okay, now let's bring in our cut and emboss machine, and we're going to use the mini now. So the mini has a little bit different formula. We're going to use the number 1 plate, 2 number 2 plates, and then in between those, we're going to put our die cutter. So let's do that. And I know these are etched up quite a bit, but they still work, so I'm not going to go to another plate until we're done. So let's do this one first. Okay, and then this one, I want to off-center it because I'm going to put a piece of Gorgeous Grape underneath that with a sentiment stamped into it. So I'm going to off-center it there a little bit. And I'm going to use some tape here. This is our Post-it labeling cover-up tape. It's very sticky and it can be used over and over again. That's what I took from the last time I used it. I took those tapes from there rather than tearing off some new pieces. Then we have one more piece that we need to do. We're going to stamp this one first before we die cut it. And I'm going to use silver embossing powder on this one. I think I'm done with this for right now. So this is our Versamark. That's what we're going to be using. And actually I am going to take this. That came with our stamping embossing kit. The kit had this powder, this brush, these tweezers, and this tray. But I'm just going to dip it into the tray of powder so that I don't have to worry about using that other tray for right now. Let's get that stamped. I'm pretty sure I got enough on there. So we're going to use these tweezers here and dip it into this powder right here. And I'm going to close this up because I do not want to blow this all over the place. Guess you got to go the right direction. Okay. And I'm just going to brush this off from here. I'm going to start our heat gun. It's going to be loud. And I'm just using the back side first, just to heat it up. And then I'll go on the other side, and it's already starting to turn silver. Perfect. I think the fur needs a little bit more. And the dew. There we go. Okay, we're going to bring this right back in here. Same formula. Cut it out. And we're just going to center that over that. And let me get my tape to tape it down. Alright, we're going to tape that down. And I want to make sure I got that straight. And well, hopefully it'll work this time. Okay, let's see how it looks. Oh, I love that foil look. So now we're going to glue that right onto here. So let me get my glue gun out. And now we want to make sure we have just a tiny stream going rather than a big stream. I'm just going to do some dots here. I'm barely squeezing it. That's what I like about this glue gun. It allows you to do large surfaces and small surfaces. Very detailed places too. So I am going to go here now. Just make sure that sticks there. And we're going to glue this down here. And I'm going to get my other one out so I can see how we did that one. Very good. And luckily I didn't glue it down on here. I moved my silicone mat before we were using our cut and emboss machine. And let's see. I want to put some dimensionals on the bottom of this before we go any farther. So we'll do 3 like we did on the other one. And that'll raise it up to the same level as the dots are at. They each have dimensionals on them, so it's going to work. And we'll use our glue gun again. And we just want to make sure we get all of this in. I think I might have got it stuck up again. You know what? I've been laying it down sideways. I bet you that's what's causing it to plug up rather than putting it back in the holder where it will use gravity to pull it down. I'm relying on the pump, and the pump is not working properly, or the pump is not doing what I want it to do, even though, see, that works a lot better. I'm barely squeezing this. And let's put it back up there. Perfect. I think we are done with this. I hope you liked this project as much as I did. Why don't you give it a try? Now, if you enjoyed today's video, would you do me 2 favors? Click the thumbs up emoji, which means you like it. And when you share it on social media with your crafting friends and pin it to Pinterest. These actions will help me to keep sharing my ideas with other crafters for free, and I'd really appreciate that. Be sure to hit the subscribe button below so you won't miss any future videos. If you have any questions, be sure to contact me. I'm here to help in any way that I can. And if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Just reach out to me. If you'd like to place a Stampin' Up! Order or would like a catalog, hop over to my website where you'll find the Shop Now button. To shop with me, you'll need to go to joanheberlein.stampinup.net. Mark your calendars. I'll be back in 2 weeks on Sunday, September 1st at 7 p.m. Central Time, and we'll be doing something from the new mini catalog. I hope you'll be here to join me. Thanks so much for being here with me tonight. I look forward to next time. Bye for now, and don't forget to subscribe.